Good morning, everyone. It is with great pleasure that I present to you today my master's thesis, titled Interpreting the Future. Can artificial intelligence replace human interpreters? This question was the starting point of my research, and it stems from a two-sided motivation. On one hand, a deep personal curiosity about new technologies and how they might be applied to my field of work, namely interpreting. On the other, a certain concern, which I believe is shared by many of my colleagues, that years of study and training could, in the not-so-distant future, be challenged by AI-based softwares. I chose to approach this thesis with an experimental method, precisely to go beyond mere personal opinions and instead gather concrete data. The core of the project was the creation of a small lab, where over the course of the year, I was able to test various AI-based tools, from common machine translation services to advanced language models like ChatGPT to software designed specifically to assist interpreters. The results were, I would say interesting, at times surprising, and sometimes even hilarious. Some tools turned out to be not very useful or even detrimental to the quality of interpretation. In some cases, the errors made by the machine were so serious that they compromised the meaning of the message. On the other hand, I must say I did get to test some tools which, despite their limitations, seem to offer real support to interpreters, but only during the preparatory phases or for creating technical glossaries. A well-known example is ChatGPT. My intention was also to test tools that could interpret in place of a human being. But unfortunately, after extensive research and countless demo requests via email, I had to give up. But my thesis was not limited to the experimental part. Another essential section of the work focuses on the cognitive processes involved in language interpreting, an activity that, as perhaps not everyone knows, has been defined as one of the most extreme forms of bilingualism. In my study, I explored the role of two key areas of the brain: Broca's area, linked to the language production, and Wernicke's area, which manages comprehension. These two zones work in synergy thanks to the corpus callosum, which connects the brain's hemispheres. It is precisely this complex neural network that allows us to listen in one language and speak simultaneously in another, with incredibly fast reaction times and a high level of concentration. Interpreting truly activates a sort of mental machine, requiring intense focus and precision, but it is also, and perhaps above all, a deeply human act that goes far beyond the mere linguistic rendering. In my thesis, I also wanted to briefly recount the history of the profession. In the second chapter, I discussed the origins of consecutive and simultaneous interpreting. Consecutive interpreting involves taking notes while the speaker talks, and then, after a period that can vary from 5 to 20 minutes, depending on how kind the speaker is to us, we deliver the speech in the other language. This method officially emerged during the Paris Peace Conference of 1919, in the aftermath of World War I. Simultaneous interpreting, on the other hand, where the interpreter translates the speaker's words in real time, came into use during the Nuremberg trials after World War II. It is no coincidence that both modes were born in the dramatic aftermath of war. Interpreting has always been, and continues to be, a tool for dialogue, a bridge between cultures, a true antidote to war. Every translated word is another chance to understand one another, to negotiate, to draw closer rather than clash. So, at the end of my journey, I can say that the results I obtained were reassuring. As advanced as they may be, machines are still not capable of replacing human interpreters. They can assist us, and in some cases even lighten our workload, but they cannot replicate our sensitivity or our ability to grasp cultural, emotional, and contextual nuances. And maybe they shouldn't even try. Because interpreting is not just about conveying words, it's about conveying intentions, emotions, sometimes even the silences, the things left unsaid. It is a technical job, but also a deeply empathetic one, an inherently human act.